Good morning and welcome to Sunday the 20th of February. It's absolutely horrible day outside, so I thought I'd just show you. I've bought some of this. I got it from, where did I buy it from? I bought it from Wickes in Sutton Ashfield. 2 lengths, and I think it cost me £1.60. And I've used it. I know it's a bit dark in here, so it's a bit hard to show you, but there, look, that's the pipe. The cold water pipe that goes from the tank up to above floor level. This is the pipe that was wrapped in the wet lagging that I've thrown away. So you can just see it all running down there. Look, can you see there? I'm trying to point to it for you. Now I don't think it would ever be affected by the frost because it's this side of the tank and the tank's insulated, but it's better just to be safe. And I've insulated it, you can't see down there. I've insulated it right down to the actual tap. So today's plan, because it's a miserable old day, I've got 4 bags of coal, a bag full of logs, and I need to fill the water tank, empty the loo, and then, because it's not really nice enough to do anything else, I'm going to get this all put back together. So this is the back of my carpet. Obviously it's nicer on the front. So I've got to get all this sprayed and glued onto the boards and on these boards here, and get everything reassembled. Get my steps back on because it looks a bit crappy in here without the steps, and I can now sleep at night knowing that there's no leaks on the water tank. The base plate is 99% dry now. There's not even enough to worry about, and once the summer comes and the boat warms up, any moisture that's left under there will definitely dry itself out, if not beforehand. Right, it's time for some porridge, sort my dog something to eat, and I'll catch up with you later when I've got all this back together. Just as a finishing touch, even though I'm fully convinced I've got no issues whatsoever of condensation under the floor, I've just cut 2 sections out of the bedroom bulkhead panel to install an air gap and put these chrome covers over, just so it looks a little bit more presentable when you walk in the bedroom. So I can't tell how good this is going to turn out because I've got no extra lights on, but at least it gives it a chance. If there's any damp air around the water tank, the warmth of the boat should draw that air out, and because it is warm on Bulls Freedom, it should not be an issue. Good morning and welcome to Tuesday the 22nd of February. And what an eventful last few days. We've had about 8-9 days now of 3 named storms cutting across the UK. If you're looking in from abroad, you'll have seen it on the news, I'm sure. Terrible flooding around the UK. I think yesterday was 18 flood warnings given. Fortunately here at Marina, all I've seen is one small sapling tree and its stake fallen over. So I think we've escaped the majority. I've been asked by a few people, does the storms keep you awake at night? I know one or two of the narrowboat owners have telling me that they're getting rocked around quite a bit. And one chap was telling me he has a washing machine, little twin tub washing machine in his well deck, and he woke up the other morning and found that was laid flat on the floor, so the storm had shook it off its perch and it had gone into the well deck. I'm pleased to say that Freedom is a very stable boat. Obviously she's tied to a mooring. I just put an extra rope to the front. She's got quite a lot of ropes on the back, and I thought, well, I'll add an extra one just in case. I've had no issues, no mass movement. She rocks with the water, but not enough where you're feeling like, you know, you're feeling seasick with it. It's not that kind of a noticeable rock. The only thing that has kept me awake is the wind howling around my well deck crash cover and my stern deck cover. And I must admit, it did get me up at 4 o'clock yesterday morning when it was really howling. And I do that just to check that all the zips to the openings are down, because if you don't get them all the way down, they will slowly creep up as the wind gets under them. But all was good. So this week, having had all the storms and extra work to try and sort out because we weren't able to operate on certain days of the week when the storms are around, I'm not going to do anything about boat maintenance. Not at all. I've done enough. I've got my bulkhead back, and I'll quickly show you that, but I'm not going to go into a great detail with it. My stern hatch cover has been off during the storm. I've took it off. It's in the bottom of the electric cupboard, just to see if any of the slight movement of the boat would put any surplus, if there was any surplus water under the floor, into that area. And I must honestly say, I would say it's 99% bone dry. It's moved a little bit, but not even enough to warrant putting a cloth down to soak it up. It's just not, it's not enough, just not enough. So, I've having a bit of time with Misty this week, which I'll show you a quick clip of. I will show you just the fact that we've got all the bulkhead back in the bedroom. Actually now doesn't look like a bomb site. But I was on the field this morning wondering what I was going to put in this week's vlog. And I got talking to one of the regular chaps out there. And I said, oh, I'm just going to go and have some breakfast. And he just says to me, what are you having? And I said, you know, I just fancy some poached eggs on toast. Oh, he says, I give up on them. I says, what? He says, poached eggs. I says, why? He says, oh, it's a lot of faffing about. He says, and they always come out like flipping bullets. So that got the old brain matter going. So today, I'm going to show you how you're going to turn that into a perfect poached egg. And we're going to get rid of a lot of these myths of what you can and can't do when preparing a perfect poached egg. And number one is dump the frying pan. The amount of people who try to poach eggs in one of these when you need one of them. Come on, let me show you. Okay, so why are we using a deep pan? Well, the simple reason is, if you use a frying pan, you've got very little water in the depth of a frying pan for the poached eggs to do what it needs to do. And you need that depth of simmering water. So boil a kettle, get a deep pan. Let me just get rid of this kettle. And this is where people then make their next mistake. Well, two mistakes to be fair. One, you get one of these. And two, you get this, salt. And you'll have heard all these people who say, oh, my grandma makes fantastic poached eggs. She puts a whisk in and she whizzes the water round really fast and she puts the salt in it. You need your salt in it. Well, trust me, you don't. And you don't need to whiz the water, because when you think about it, you're going to throw an egg in there and it's going to be swirling around like a whirly-girly, and it's going to go, the white's going to go, where's the yolk, where's the yolk, where's the yolk, and it's chasing all over the place. And the golden rule is, leave it alone. So, the only thing we're going to add, use white vinegar if you've got it. I haven't, so we're just going to use good old-fashioned malt vinegar. Put a fairly liberal spoonful in there. We need the acidity. We don't need to be whizzing it, we just want the acidity. And then I've got 2 bowls. And what we're going to do, we're going to put a little bit of vinegar, like that. You see that in the bowls. I know you can't see me, but it's the only way I can film this. It's difficult when you're filming it on your own. And all I'm doing is just rolling that vinegar around them bowls to put some acidity around the edges. So what we're going to do now is, less water starting to simmer. We're going to crack us eggs into these bowls, and then we're going to poach the perfect poached egg. I'm just going to move you across a little bit, just so you can see that pan is on a nice steady bubble. And just the actual simmering of the pan is enough to get the vinegar spread around inside. Now you might ask, why has he got 2 bowls for the eggs? Why can't you just use one? Well, the reason is, if you only have one, you're going to place your first egg, then you've got to go and crack an egg. Well, you've got to put some vinegar in, you've got to crack the egg, and you've got to put your second one in. Now you could be 15, 20, 30 seconds between putting the first egg and the second egg in. So the reason we use a bowl is so you can put the bowl right down into the water and let the egg go. And again, straight down and in, let the egg go. And now just leave them alone. Don't mess with them. Just keep the water on a steady simmer. And when they float to the top, they're ready to come out. In the meantime, you just get some paper towel on a plate, ready to put your beautiful poached eggs on, just to take the moisture off. So when you put them on your toast isn't going to get damp. When they start floating, I'll bring you back. Okay, so we just ease them out onto your kitchen roll. I like my eggs not to be too runny. I just dab a little bit of paper towel on the top just to help take the moisture off. Got your toast on a warm plate. And then just roll the egg back and place him. Roll the egg back and place him. Now you put your salt on and a little bit of pepper. I like pepper on mine. And let me just take you to the table and see if I can just show you this. As they are. Then this is coming straight from the pan, filmed live, so obviously you're seeing what I'm seeing. Hopefully I can get the camera something like level. Let's just take a look. Look at them. You see, I like mine, so they what I call waxy. Now, all you've got to do is when you try them, as soon as they feel firm, they're going to be a runny egg. I personally don't like mine too runny. I've always had this thing with eggs. I like them to be well cooked. But they're not all what I call manky white. When you put the salt in the pan, and the reason you don't put it in a saucepan is because it explodes the whites. And we don't want that. What we want is a nice firm outer case. Look at them. They're just absolutely, for me, perfect. You know, it's a nice soft case, a waxy middle, and to me, that's how it should be. Now, I'm not sure if you know, but some people will say to you, well, that's a lot of messing about. Just put you straight because you've gone, that's it. It's a lot of messing about. Well, what you can do is, where I like mine to be what I call not too runny, if you take them out and place the eggs into a bowl that's got some cold water and ice cubes in. Leave them in there for 2 or 3 minutes, pop them in the fridge. Then in the morning when you get up, all you need to do is put your pan on. You don't need to put any more vinegar else in, just pure water. Get it to a very steady simmer. Drop your 2 poached eggs in, and by the time your toast is done, them eggs will have heated through. And that's how we do it in hotels. If you ever wondered when you go to a hotel why all the eggs are perfect, is because when they're doing a large breakfast cover, so you've maybe got 150, 200 guests in your hotel, and poached eggs are on that menu, they're going to do 30 or 40 the night before. And they have them in the fridge on a tray, and they can just blanch them into hot water, simmering water, while they're doing the toast, so when they come out, they're absolutely perfect. So remember, if you like your eggs really runny, as soon as they start to float, just lift them out gentle, touch them. If they've got some resistance, that's fine. If like me, you like them that little bit better, as in a little bit more cooked, then just give them an extra 30 seconds, 40 seconds while they're floating, then get them out, drain them, then put your salt and your peppers on. Don't put your salt in the water. Don't whisk your water because that just sends it all crazy. And that's how simple it is. Now you know how to do perfect poached eggs.
Put it in the box. Put it in the box. If you've got a good idea, let's put it in the box.
Right, now we're not going to do this every week, but I've got a few items that I want to show you that I've already started to get my mind around and think, well, these things are going to come in very, very handy. So we'll keep it short, to the point. Just 2 things to show you. Again, these have come out of Lidl. Now obviously there's other, there's Aldi's, and I don't think people like Tesco's and Morrison's do it, but Lidl and Aldi always have that centre aisle where you buy things that you think you're never going to need, but then you go and buy it. Well, these I think are 2 really good purchases for putting in the box. I bought these a few weeks ago, and both of them were £2.95. So again, not pocket busting, but first one, can you see that? There's a box of assorted O-ring seals. I haven't opened the box. It tells you on the front all the different, I imagine all the different sizes. I don't really like to keep cameras picking that up. But there's what? Is there 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? There's 18 different size seals, and there's at least 10 of each. So there's about 180 seals for less than £3. And again, these are one of these things that I may never need. But while they're sealed in that box, they'll not take no harm in the engine room. And if I'm out on the water and I have a breakdown, and whether I can fix it myself or the Canal rescue guys come out and they go, oh, we need a seal but we haven't got one, I've put it in the box. It's little things like this that I want your suggestions for, because I just think, how great is that? And on exactly the same theme, for exactly the same price, I bought a box of them. Now we all know what they are, Jubilee clips. And again, £2.95. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 different sizes, and I think there's about 6 of each in the box. So what's that? There's 30 Jubilee clips, so they work out about 10p each. Now, if you're stuck on a canal bank side and you've got a hose that's weeping diesel or water, it's sod's law that you haven't got one of these. And that's when you start to have to then rush around, get into the local town and try and get it sorted. So those are my 2. Put it in the box. £3 a piece, well, £2.95. And they will maybe one day just save me from a lot of stress, because I know I've put them in the box.
Put it in the box. Put it in the box. If you've got a good idea, let's put it in the box.
And that's it for another week. I've tried to keep it as short as I can. As I say, it's been a horrible week with weather, so I've got no major plans for any additional work on the boat at the moment. My daughter's coming over at the end of this week, So that'll make a nice change from physically having to try and sort out issues. So until next week, please give us a thumbs up if you like the video. Do give the poached eggs a go. They are so much nicer doing it that way than they are doing it in a frying pan. Let me have your comments below. Suggestions for put it in the box would be really welcomed. And if you've just fell across this channel and thought, well, he's worth a look, please subscribe, press the notification bell. You'll get to see the vlogs as they come out, and hopefully you'll help me grow this channel. So until next week, from Misty, who's flat out on the floor snoring, and me, look after yourselves, take care. Cheers.